Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Grasses Flower Structures. Flowers of the grasses are tiny, inconspicuous, and they are carried in a dense inflorescence. So here, what we are looking at is the flowers. What we are seeing here, this is all of it is called an inflorescence. And these small parts that we are seeing here, we call them the spikelets, which is also a group of flowers. These ones, they are spikelets, groups of flowers. So the whole of it, we call it an inflorescence. And these flowers are inconspicuous. They are very small that they cannot be seen properly. Inflorescence is a group of flowers carried on the same stalk. What we call an inflorescence is a group of flowers which is carried on the same stalk. So we have our stalk here, and we have very many groups of flowers carried on that stalk. That is what we call the inflorescence. Groups of flowers carried on the same stalk. There are no petals or sepals in the usual sense, but the reproductive organs are enclosed in two green leaf-like structures called bracts. So here we are saying we don't have any petal. There is nothing like a petal here. What we are seeing here, these ones, we refer to them as bracts. They are the ones that are covering the reproductive organs inside. So when you look here, you will see at least the anthers and the filaments. They are hanging out. Here you can see the filament and the anthers hanging out. They are coming out of the bract. We don't have petals. These structures which cover the reproductive organs, we call them bracts. The ovary contains one ovule and bears two styles with feathery stigma. That is the ovary. So when you look at the bottom here, you are going to see this inside the part here. This is our ovary. It is an ovary. That one that you are seeing is the ovary, and it has got one ovule. But we are saying that it has two styles with feathery stigma. This one, what you're seeing here, is a style. That one is a style. There are two. Then another one is this side. This one is also a style. But they are saying it has a hairy stigma. The stigma is hairy. If you look, you can see some small hairs there. Those small hairs, they are on the style. There are three stamens the anthers, of which, when ripe, they hang outside the bract. Now, if we come back here, this is the bract. We have said that green structure covering the reproductive parts. But we are saying that it has got 3 stamens. And these 3 stamens are these ones that we are seeing here. This is a filament. And when it comes here, it connects to these ones. These are anthers, the ones we are seeing outside here. Then we have another filament here, then connecting to the anther outside here. So these ones are the ones that we are calling the stigma, a stamen falling, dropping out, hanging out. Then we have this one, then it connects to this anther here. This is the anther, so where it is connected. So there are 3 of them, but they are hanging outside the bract. But that one occurs when they become ripe. That means that they have become mature. And when they are mature, now they can hang outside. Grasses are not pollinated by insects, but by wind. When the stamens are mature, they release the pollen, which is carried by the wind. We have seen that here our stamens are going to get out of the bract when they are ripe. That means that now they are ready to release the pollen. So when they come out and they are ripe, and then outside we have wind flowing in that direction, of course it is going to blow the pollen which is on the anthers. And when it blows that pollen is going to be carried away in wind, and it will go to another flower to pollinate that flower. So the pollination is by wind. Wind takes them away and it carries them away to pollinate other flowers. The feathery stigmas, they protrude outside the bracts and they trap the wind-carried pollen. So when you look here, you will see that you have the feathery stigma here. That one there, and then another one is the other side. Those are the feathery stigma. Those feathery stigma are the ones that now are protruding outside of the bract. And when they come outside of the bract, they are going to trap the pollen which is in the wind. And then they will trap that pollen carried by the wind, which is going to land on the feathery stigma. The pollen grains are very light and smooth and can be blown for a long distance. So because they are light, they are very light, they are easily carried by the wind. And when they come and find the stigma, which has feathery stigma, they are going to attach themselves on the stigma which is feathery because they are smooth. And being light and smooth, they can easily be blown by wind for a longer distance. The cellulose, that is wheat, oats, barley, maize, and many others are grasses, especially bred and cultivated by humans for the sake of food stored in the fruits or seeds of their flowers. So most of the cereals, like barley, like oats, like wheat, maize, they are grasses which are cultivated by human, and then they get the food stored in their fruits. We get the food stored in their fruits, and sometimes they are in their seeds, which are from their flowers. Thank you very much for participating in grasses flower structures. Please do like, share, and subscribe.